Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Legends of Another World. In the last episode we made pretty good progress on this Monster Arena side quest. 9 out of 15 optional bosses unlocked and 7 defeated. I've been doing some more travelling over the world. Oh, I see you've got a good variety of obby monsters now. I was able to create a new monster for you to face. Also, here's a reward. So we get another multi-proof, MP Direct, and your Jumbo's Blade, which is one of the endgame blue magics. So, this is continuing the trend of giving us more copies of the things that would otherwise be in strictly limited supply. And that reminds me, I have been giving some advice on the RPG Maker forum to someone else who's going through this game. And in particular, I was helping them with the Shinryu fight, and so I told them where to get the preemptive ability. Even though that was a few days ago, it only just hit me this morning. But, of course, that means that preemptive is something you can buy in a shop. And that means you can get more than one of them. So, could this be the key to the Swarm Roach battle? I have done some testing, and it looks like giving all 4 characters preemptive does indeed give all of them an extra turn before the normal turn order starts. But I still have to get lucky with things like critical hits and breaker attack applying when it should. So I'm going to cut the recording here and record the Swarm Roach battle, but I'll cut out any unsuccessful attempts. Got weakened on my first attempt, that's not a bad start. Alicia gets 2 criticals, that's the most important thing. But failed to get that critical, so I don't think I've done it. Let's see how close I was. Well, the weird thing is, it doesn't seem to be an improvement on before at all. Okay, Vince using Excel might only give himself an extra turn, so I'll use his for Adrenaline instead. And now we're doing more damage with every hit. Oh yes, much more. Only had 1 miss so far. And we did it! So, Namida, I don't know if that is how it was meant to be taken down. So this one doesn't give an item reward, it just gives a whole bundle of EXP and AP, both of which are entirely useless at this stage of the game. The main thing is the bragging rights. So, since I know that we're going to be fighting an obby next, I've taken off the extra preemptives, Vince still has his, and put on multi-proofs. Okay, it might be immune. Usual very high stats for all these endgame bosses. Immune to all negative statuses. So, not much I can do except attack. Pestilence, of course it uses that. Okay, so this is its gimmick. It's able to put all of us in negative statuses, even with multi-proof. And every possible debuff. Every possible negative status and every possible debuff. This is going to take some thinking about. Well, I've had not much further progress with that one. One thing I did discover is that debuff proof does still prevent its debuffs, so and that is viable in the Trinity Palace. So I've bought enough of those for my front party members. I had 2 already. And I'm not short of cash, as you can see. I am getting quite a bit more from all the random encounters that I'm doing as I go around and get all these super scans. But I can't seem to prevent the statuses in any way. Individual status prevention abilities don't work either. It just straight up gives you every negative status, even if you're immune, and puts your HP to 1. So the trouble is that includes poison and sleep. So when your HP is 1 and you have both of those, you don't get a turn, you're dead. And when that's on all 4 party members, I just don't see any way to prevent being wiped out. So that's a failure for now, but let's try the Treason. Obviously these 5 are not in difficulty order. Sados was by far the easiest. So, what have we got? Slightly less HP, but still a lot. Physical defense is much higher than spirit, so that's kind of annoying because I favour a mainly physical party. Weak to fire, well, it is a tree. Immune to a lot of things, but vulnerable to weaken and meltdown. High resistance to darkness, but not immune. I wonder if it will mainly be a magical attacker. Yeah, that's about all I'm getting there. No, it physically attacked Vince. Oh, wrong person. Okay, I knew it had to have something more up its sleeve than just physical on one party member. Okay, so it took haste off, even though that was applied by auto haste. Interesting. I'm still not feeling very much threat from this. Okay, it has nasty status infliction. I wonder if that's going to be even if you're immune to it. It still isn't doing very much damage. Oh hey, Alicia can't use special anymore. Did it put her in a state where she can't use her abilities? Let's just... Oh, that's what knockoff does. It removes all your equipment. I shouldn't laugh, because that is... Not only is that pretty nasty by itself, but it is time-consuming to put it back. So I might just see if I can work out a strategy for this that's going to work even without equipment. The main thing is that it can't take away my white mage's ability to use white magic, so I can keep putting haste back on. I've taken out more than a quarter of its HP, and I should probably switch... Well, it would have been better to keep Harley switched out of the party. Oh goodness, though, if it does hit Ivy, she's lost her 1 MP cost. Can I put Alicia back in? Yeah, she's still my strong hitter. No, she isn't anymore, because she doesn't have... Okay, well, in that case, I'm actually for once glad it hit Alicia. See, we're about halfway down, even with this gimmick. Okay, let's take a moment to put in Amanda and do some disaster. Yeah, that's by far the heaviest hit I still have available to me. And of course it goes for her. Disaster won't still do very much because she's lost ultra damage. But she kept haste because that wasn't from the auto haste ability. How much is Tara doing at the moment? She still has ultra damage, so she's doing more than Amanda would. Okay, that's the trouble. It can still use pollen, which puts everyone to sleep. Well, I'll just see whether that is affected by sleep proof. I hope we don't lose those abilities permanently. Let's see. No, we have 3 debuff proofs now. Was that on them at the time? Counterattack certainly was, and we've got 3 of them back. And the use special, of course. Right, I was just going to put on... well, hang on. Putting on sleep proof wouldn't help because of its... because it would get taken off. No, I think I'm just going to have to play that fight a bit more until I get a bit luckier. So, if I do get lucky, I'll cut in near the end. So I think we might have this one. I got extremely lucky. Its first 3 turns, it used a normal physical attack without knockoff. And then it knocked Tara off. The other 3 are still up, so Alicia still has her ultra damage and double hit. And that's more than enough. But we don't get the item from that, so I will have to look at the game data to find out what that was. By the way, I have, off-camera, tried repeating the one that I missed, but after I didn't get it in another 3 attempts, I really didn't feel like persevering with that. So I think I'll just have to accept that I'm not getting all of these. So there should be one more unlocked. The Smashinator, and Namida has told me the unlock conditions for these. So Glyph is unlocked 2 regional creations, Retributor is unlocked 5, Remover is unlocked 2 variety creations, and Smashinator is unlocked all 5. Which is a bit weird because it means Retributor is second on the list, but it can only unlock when you've got all the monsters. So, if it were me, I would have made that 4 regional creations rather than 5. But anyway, Smashinator. Cool. Let's do the usual. Excel to... Whoops. Flee does work on these, by the way. I'll just switch in Harley as soon as possible to do why did he not get a turn? Is that because I was using Tara's preemptive turn for switching? Maybe. Because I did include preemptive in the equipment I put back on her because she'd got knocked off in the previous battle. So one thing I notice is that it's not getting very frequent turns, but it will be a very hard hitter. Obviously with all the up there stats. Low resistance to weaken and meltdown. It has already got weaken on, which is the one I care about more. Medium resistance to zombie, so it could be vulnerable to the zombie regen trick. Worth a try, but right now I'm just seeing how much damage I can lay on and waiting to see what it does. Presumably hits very hard. Not that bad. So that's 1/5 of its HP gone. It has the Roller Blaster, which we remember from Adriol. And it would have been nice to come into this fight with debuff proofs. Looks like Vince still has his. Okay, that's good. It gave Harley an extra turn. Although, annoyingly, he has the auto reflect, which means if I use Curona, that will if I switch in Ivy, will she get 2 turns? No. Well, I'll take what I can do. Put haste on. Calamity attack, wonderful. That put her to sleep, so let's get that off straight away. So we have taken out a fifth of its HP. And it hasn't done anything that bad to us yet. Oh right, she's in confused status. Now that's pretty bad. Oh no, Harley is getting a turn next anyway, so just attack with Tara. Okay. I should probably use a turn to revive her. I mean, Alicia's getting a lot of turns just through auto haste. Good, I like it when you do something innocuous like that. Now let's see if that will take off your confuse. Yes, good. Another Roller Blaster. I'm going to have to Curona, even though it will get reflected. Oh yeah, and I should revive Ivy as well. Let's use a turn to revive Ivy first and then excel her together with everyone else. Ivy can use Blessing now. Okay, straight up kill one person, I don't really care about that. It just hasted itself. Now, can I slow it, or is that a permanent thing? Find out. Actually, I could have looked at its scan. Okay, this is bad. Very bad. I think it could be manageable with a bit more luck and with debuff proofs. So I'll try it again with that, and I'll cut back in at the halfway point when it auto-hastes. Okay, so I'm cutting back in another battle. This is just after he's used auto-haste. I haven't had a chance to scan yet. Harley needs to haste himself, really. Oh, and I forgot that that would get reflected. At least in this case it didn't do any damage, but that's still idiotic. What I could really do for this fight is more auto hastes. Okay, I'm going to take this chance to scan, so we can see how close we are. Yay, normal attack. That's your least threatening move. Okay, we've got him down to 500,000. Which, you know, given that Alicia by herself is taking off 100,000 every round, you know, I'm going to use these hyper elixirs. I've got 40. And that was a good call. I might even, yeah. Oh, we'll give Tara an extra turn anyway. But yeah, just keep on throwing hyper elixirs. Anything Tara can more usefully do on her turn than attack? Not really. Okay, it just wiped her, that's good for me. And she does have auto haste. Ivy, wall on Tara. Didn't save her, not that it matters, it's going down. Oh. Well, that was annoying, didn't get the critical when I needed it. But there we are. Didn't get that one's drop either. I did actually redo the tree thing, and it's an MP plus that you get from that one. So, current state of play. 4 regional creations unlocked. The first 3 have been defeated, the Molligart has not. All variety creations unlocked, 4 defeated. Still need to work out how I can do the obby. 3 original creations unlocked and defeated. So all that's left to do is unlock the last regional creation by finding the last 2 monsters, Dinosaur and Trollolo. Now the Dinosaur was with one of the specimens in those encounters. Obviously I can't redo those, but it suggests that it might be a random encounter in that area, the Sisona Forest. So that's where I'm going to look. So one thing that you can do in RPG Maker is in the map editor there are basically 3 layers. One is putting down the terrain, one is putting down events, which is what the editor calls interactive objects, such as chests, and the third is assigning ID numbers to certain tiles. And one use of this is that you can designate certain tiles to have different random encounter probabilities from the rest of the map. Now this little sub-map, you can see from the scrolling as I get near the edges that this is part of another map, it's not a map in itself. And it turns out from looking in the map data that that little area is in fact the best possible place for encountering dinosaurs. It's still not a very high probability encounter. I had to go through quite a few before I got a dinosaur, but that is where I found one. It is also the best place for encountering trollollos, but even there, those are such a low probability encounter that I'm not going to bother. Now that I have only one thing left, I'm finally going to make use of the services of this NPC who has been waiting for such a long time. Sure, go ahead. That should be all we need. Yep, everything from the East Islands. We get 10 tonics, which... what are the tonics? I get confused between all the different ones. That might be auto-regen. Yes, I think so. God's Law. Hey, you've super scanned every monster that exists. I'll let you into the basement. There's a few people who gather in there who can do some really neat stuff. Before that, since I'm 99.9% sure we didn't see it at any point in this playthrough, let's have a look. A very namida thing to do. Oh, it doesn't die when hit. I mean, most things in that area would have... Again, I'm just so not used to switching in Harley, not giving him a turn straight away. That's because I have preemptive on, I'm sure of it now. Okay. Not scannable. Yeah, that certainly should have killed it, unless it has an insane amount of HP. Ah, there we go. Okay. Let's have a look at this basement. So we can get these for free. Okay, yeah. We get skills and get the AP back. We already had someone who can do this. I think the first person who can do this could only do it once, so it's now available in unlimited quantities if we wanted to reallocate AP. Of course we don't, because we've already learnt everything. It would be useful if I wanted to shuffle around the use second skill set things, but I don't. No reason why I would ever want to do that. Feeling too strong, I can level you down a bit if you like. So that is interesting, because of course leveling down and then leveling back up with the trainers is one way we could get stats. 10,000 kicks, and I have 3 million, so I could use this to get extremely high stats for all characters. Of course I'm not going to do that, but it's interesting to know that the option is there. And yes, we can buy stat boost items. Obviously they are very expensive, but... I mean, the thing is that money is kind of unlimited at this point in the game. I mean, with the Monster Arena, we can just go into any battle we want and use the Trinity Palace enemies to get money. So again, this is a way that if you wanted, you could completely break the game. Now, obviously I'm not going to do that, but I think, as a reward for having gotten this far, I will allow myself to use the money I have on these stat boosts. I'll do that in between episodes, and I'll see if I can beat all the Monster Arena bosses before needing to do that. Yep, 57 hours and 3/4, that's how long it's taken. It was about 50 hours, I think, when I first unlocked the Monster Arena, so it's taken me that long to super scan every monster and fight the first, well, I think I fought 12 of the bosses and defeated 10. Yeah, I'm going to try to defeat all the bosses here before buying any stat boosts, and in between episodes I'll think a bit about which ones of those I want to get. So now, let's fight the Summoner. So far my hypothesis of these 5 being in difficulty order has been borne out. Let's see if that will continue. Okay, so it's the Summoner, it summons. The Steelworks has 84,000 HP, which should be fairly easy to take out given my stats and the ultra damage. It has very high physical defense, so I'll use Disaster. Oh, again, Amanda doesn't get a turn immediately, that's fine. I want to know the stats on the Summoner itself, so I'll put in Harley for a scan. $500,000, so quite a bit lower than the other arena bosses. Lower defense and spirit as well than some of them have had. Immune to everything negative. Okay. Looks like it might be fairly straightforward. I don't know what its... I haven't scanned this one, so I'm not sure how close it is to going down. Yeah, I don't know what it will do on its turn other than just summon, so we'll see if that... I have to take this out. Okay, there we go. Shockwave inflicts weaken and meltdown on everyone. I don't know. I don't think Esena removes those, so I'll put in Ivy. I think she has some blue magic that removes negative status. And switch in Harley to give Ivy haste. And let's lay on some damage. So 30,000 a turn. Yeah, I mean that's going to be 100,000 a turn with Ivy with Alicia getting 3 turns in between each one of it. This will be fairly quick. Only problem is it will sooner or later summon again.
What can Harley do? Yep, summoned another Steelworks. Oh, and while the summon exists, the summoner itself can't be damaged. Okay. Switch Tara. I think Steelworks are vulnerable to Breaker attack. Correct. Should have just used Amanda. Yeah, definitely use Amanda. So it's about halfway down. Okay, Shockwave. Good thing I didn't bother taking that off yet. Let's see how much Disaster does to this. Yeah, fair bit. Now, what are my status removing blue magics? Temporary immunity to statuses. I should try that one out against the Obby thing. Heals one ally and removes negative statuses. That's not what I want. Okay, I thought I had a remove status blue magic. Well, I do, but I thought I had a whole party one. So that was wrong. So I'll just Curona. No, I won't, because Harley has his auto-reflect. I still haven't learned. Oh, and I should have just used Blessing. Wow, now I feel dumb. Okay, let's see if we can get it down. Yes! And we get a barrier, I think by an amazing coincidence. Yep, that takes me up to exactly 10. Oh, that might have been the drop from the summoned monsters rather than the summoner. I have the database open right now, so I am going to check. Right, yeah, summoner can drop magic plus. And the other one that I've just done, Smashinator, drops ultra HP. I'm a little sad that I didn't get that, because it would have been nice to get 4 so that I could have a front party all with ultra HP. The thing is, I don't ever see it being part of Alicia's setup, because it has to come with HP plus 100% to be worthwhile, and Alicia has so many other things that I want her to always have. Ultra damage, double hit, auto haste. So all of that together is 5 slots already, and then some monsters have particular things that are useful, like debuff proof or auto wall. Anyway, that is 11 Monster Arena bosses defeated. Let's see what's... Right, Moligart. I unlocked Moligart a long time ago and haven't really come back to look at it yet. Obby from Hell, I want to do a bit more tinkering off camera to see if I can work out a way of counteracting its status infliction. The other completely new one is the Retributor, so let's look at that. Oh, hello. You look very much like the Dark Returner, or the original Returner. So I wonder if this will use the same mechanics. Well, it doesn't counterattack. It is vulnerable to weaken and meltdown. Nearly 2 million HP. It is vulnerable to zombie and regen. And let's see what it does on its turn. Storing energy. So I predict that, like the Returner, it will deal damage depending on the amount I do to it. So I've done 90,000, that might be way too much. We'll see. Yeah, I'm going to switch in people who don't have haste and just defend and see what happens. Okay, so I would have to take it down in extremely small chunks, and it regains a little bit of HP from the damage I do to it. This sounds like it might be a pain. And also I need to check how long the episode's been going on for, so I'm going to stop recording here and maybe cut back in when I've decided what to do with the rest of the episode. Okay, I think I got this. So, what's happening is, every round I hit it with Amanda or Harley, i.e. one of my weakest physical attackers. Alicia is just there to keep using Bliss. It will return the exact amount of damage done and drain it. So, in essence, all the damage I do to it is nullified. Only zombie regen allows me to keep reducing its HP. And every round I should hit it at least once. If I don't, it will do an atomic blast. And everyone has walls, so they will actually survive, but you know, I may as well keep going this way. Ivy, I've knocked Ivy out myself because it's easier with only 3 party members up. I could keep Amanda knocked out as well, but I like to have backup because there are some rounds when the regen wears off, and then I want to use Amanda to hit it while Harley puts regen back on. Other than that, nothing to it, it's just an extremely long battle. Because every round like this, the only damage that's actually done and sticks is the 9999 from zombie regen. So every round, 10,000 damage is done, minus a little bit of the drain. and that means it takes 175 rounds to fully defeat. And yes, I know Namida is a fan of some of the later Final Fantasy games that are renowned for their extremely long and tedious bosses, but myself, I just don't see tedium as being a desirable thing under any circumstances. I could now switch to physically hitting with Alicia and try to take it out that way, but do not want to take any risks at this late stage. That should be it. We did not get the drop. I think that one is an ultra damage, which is a pity. It would have been nice to have another of those so I could keep my usual front four plus Ivy, all with ultra damage, but you know, 4 is enough, and I am certainly not going through that fight again. So I'll definitely save to make sure that, right, let's have a look. It was just, 1 hour. Okay, I had breaks in the middle of the fight because because sitting there for an hour would and actually, I think that time might include an unsuccessful attempt as well as the successful one, but still. That fight is utterly ridiculous and should not be in the game. I mean, the puzzle of working out how to beat it is okay, but its HP does not need to be anywhere near that high for the fight to work. So, good place to leave the episode, I think. So that should be 12 of the optional bosses defeated. Still need to get the Molligart, still need to get the Obby from Hell. The Doofus will only be unlocked when I've beaten all the other 14, so those 3 bosses are what's left for me next episode. So, thanks for watching, see you next time.